Turn, keep the light on because you're acting as a beacon. Because these people are lost and they got brainwashed so easy. That's my problem.
Wealthy corporations and social media companies design their content in a way that'll make us fight each other. On Jolah Talks Politics, echo chambers will be broken. Whether I'm reviewing a video or talking to a live caller, this means unfiltered, uncensored, and sometimes uncomfortable conversations. And that's okay. It's never going to be easy. Easy's not going to fix everything we see happening right now. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Also consider supporting my channel in the description down below. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Are you the guy on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching your show yesterday. Really enjoyed it. And I subscribed. Well, I'm not, I didn't, I just normally subscribe and like. I like your talking points. I hope that I'm speaking slow enough that you can understand me. I'm Jamaican and I have a heavy accent. My apologies for my accent. But what I've come to the realization since living here in America for the last couple of years is that most of you guys think that America revolves around the sun. They don't understand what is happening worldwide and the phenomenon that is happening now has happened in other countries. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I think Americans don't realize. I feel like Americans they think they can do, or we think we can do anything we want to anyone without having any repercussions, and the whole world is just gonna bend to our whims, whatever we want them to do. And there's other stuff going on.
Right. When I've realized that even conversation is like they would tell you about the Constitution, and they say the Constitution applies in America. It don't apply in China, it don't apply in Japan. And not because something can be done here, it means that other people accept it. I would say to them to listen, I am 50 and I've lived in a country where I saw tariffs. When I was growing up in Jamaica, we had heavy tariffs. And it made everything expensive. If you wanted to import a car, you had to pay duty of up to almost 200%. So as a result of that, most people couldn't afford a car. And when I see introduction of tariffs, and I have friends, I'm black, and I have friends here who are black, and they're saying tariffs are a good thing. Trump is right. And they say, you don't understand world history. Tariffs have never worked except to suppress the population that it is placed on. It makes things more expensive.
That's a really good
It
point.
takes away.
No, there's a really good point about because I often bring up North Korea, because North Korea has some of the highest tariffs you can possibly imagine, and it usually is used as a form of control over the people. Even if it hurts the country, the leaders are willing to hurt the country if it means they get more power themselves.
Right. It is used to suppress people. And then stupid people agree with it. And I'm looking at it now and I say, what people should be fighting for is not tariff, because the manufacturing jobs that we want back is not the same manufacturing jobs they were 50 years ago. 50 years ago, the average car plant had 2,000 people working there, 3,000, 5,000 people working there. If you go to China now, most of the factories that do these high-paying jobs are dark factories. Meaning they don't really have people there. It's just robots and machines.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not coming. These manufacturing jobs are coming back with a lot of jobs, with a lot of workers. The manufacturing jobs that carry workers are low-paying one. The apparel, the shoes. But the iPhone factory or the Huawei phone factory don't have anybody working in there. It's robots doing everything. The car factory, it's robots doing everything, putting the cars together. You have 1 and 2 people on the line to make sure the robots don't make any mistakes or to assist the robots. But those thousands of people jobs not
Mm-hmm.
coming back.
Yeah. They also it is really interesting how they talk about it too, because Americans will say that other countries have ruined America. Other countries have been taking advantage of America. When, if you know anything about the world at all, America has taken advantage of all these countries like more than ever. Than they could ever do in return. The idea that America has suffered while at the same time being the richest country of all time, it's just this victim. It's not even a victim mentality. I feel like the leaders are just lying to the people to do bad policies so they get more power and so they don't have to give up their own wealth. The same reason they turn everyone against immigrants instead of talking about how much money the ultra powerful leaders have so they can get more power, more control, and divide the people.
No, but all right, I'll give an example. In Jamaica, we used to produce bananas, and we used to export these bananas to the United Kingdom or Great Britain. A lot, along with Jamaica, and several African countries who used to do it. And the Chiquita banana that is produced in Colombia is owned by Americans, and they went to their representatives who took these poorer countries to the WTO, World Trade Organization, and that as a result, preferential treatment was taken away from those countries in order for Chiquita to flood the markets of the world. Globalization was not a Chinese invention. Globalization was an American invention.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're losing the game, you want to change the rules. And everybody in the world said, no, these are the rules that you set up. You can't change them now because you're losing. When we were losing, when African countries were losing, when the Chinese were losing, when the Taiwanese were losing, they had to play the game to the end. So because they got better now, right? When it was Michael Jordan was the number one player in the NBA, nobody had a problem with it. Now it's Luka Doncic and that dude from the Nuggets. What's the dude's name from the Nuggets? The one from the center. He's the best player in the league now. When it was Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, an American, was the best player in the league. Oh, the NBA was great that time. Now the NBA is not great because the international players are now better than the American players. That's how the game works. You want to change the rules because you're no longer in the driver's seat. It doesn't work like that. It's called competition. Your job is to get better. Just like
Yeah.
how everybody has got better.
And America never had to lose. America could have easily stayed in front, but right now America is almost America is very insecure. They act like a very insecure person who lashes out and just punches a hole in the wall to act tough instead of like planning and training and making sure they get better. Like they just want to fight people instead of being better at the game. And America right now is giving up completely. China right now is getting a huge gift from America backing down. And America is trying to help Russia get involved in international trade again. And America is fighting our allies in Europe and Canada and Mexico and all these countries that have helped America. And all these, we're abandoning countries. We abandoned so many countries that have helped us, including in like our military operations. We run out of like Africa and Somalia even. Like we just abandon countries left and right. We abandon Ukraine. We abandon all these countries, and we break deals. We break treaties. There's no reason to trust America more than China right now. I mean, maybe minor reasons, but not really right now. With this government that really knows. So America is throwing away. America is throwing away all of its power and the leadership position that it's been in. It's kind of crazy.
No, it's for greed. The other day I was speaking to a friend of mine, and I was saying that, do you believe that Elon Musk is richer than Henry Ford was at his richest? If you adjust for inflation, Elon Musk is almost 20 times richer than Henry Ford ever was. But Henry Ford had factories all over the world. He had infrastructure. He had more infrastructure than Elon Musk. And you said, why couldn't Henry Ford be as rich? And you realize that he was paying a living wage. Billionaires in America don't pay a living wage anymore. That's why people are crying over these manufacturing jobs. America now is richer than it was when all of these manufacturing jobs were. The stock market is more valuable now than when 1980s, 1990s, when all the manufacturing jobs were here. But it's that everybody has a vault like Scrooge McDuck, where they're hoarding all of this cash and it's not being shared. And that's the problem. If the wealth was being decimated or spread out as it should have been, there wouldn't be in a situation with China. China producing bullshit shouldn't affect America. Yeah, it wouldn't affect America. But the billionaires don't want to pay their share.
Mm-hmm.
Tariffs affect poor people. Like, but even sales tax. I remember when sales tax was introduced in Jamaica, and the conversation was that sales tax is a bad tax because poor people spend all their salary. So they're being disproportionately taxed. If I only make $100, and to survive for the week, I have to spend all of my $100, and 10% of that is tax. I'm paying more tax in proportion to the rich person because the rich person not spending all of their salary. They're only spending a proportion of their salary, so they're not the tax. They're not paying the tax in sales tax.
Yeah, well, the issue is that they can easily buy media companies, and if they control all information, the working, not even working, but just the average person in general is not going to do research for themselves. They'll just believe whatever the emotional thing is and everything like that. But yeah, I really appreciate you sharing and providing some. I mean, obviously, if you hear my conversations with Trump voters, they don't talk at all about the world or global politics because they don't really have that information. And that's not even being mean. They just come in and talk about things they don't know about, which they should stop doing. But I appreciate you sharing.
Respect. Yeah. I like your show. I like the argument. I like the conversation we have. So and keep the light on. Keep the light on. Because you're acting as a beacon. Because these people are lost. And they got brainwashed so easy. That's my problem. Somebody brainwash you that easily. But continue keeping the lights on. All right, later.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Goodbye. Have a great night. Every single one of us is media. For us to overcome what's happening right now, we all need to push in the right direction. Whether you make your own content, if you share my content or another creator you like, thank you so much for supporting this. We all need to do our job. And I really appreciate what you have to give, whether it's financial or not. If you cannot afford to donate, do not donate. Share the video around, drop a like, comment, subscribe. You are helping more than you could ever imagine.